Alright, so welcome back to this next video where we're going to be talking about what type of niche you should create for your store. Now, what do I mean by a niche? Now, as far as business, this means, relating to either products, services, or interests that appeal to a small, specialized section of a broader category. So in this case, if we were talking about going into the beauty niche or the beauty industry, a niche within beauty would be makeup. And then another sub niche or another niche within makeup could be organic makeup or animal friendly makeup. Stuff like that where we're focusing on like a product or an interest that we're going to be creating our store around that appeals to just a small specialized section of a broader industry. So what type of stores or what type of niches are actually going to work today for you to get in, for you to set up a successful store? Well, what you want to do is you want to start with a sub niche and then try to create a monopoly of that tiny little niche and then expand from that. So your store is going to be not only the place to go for the best products in that particular niche, but also you provide the best value and content and ideas as well. Now I have a picture of this garden gnome here. So, for example, you could create a sub niche out of lawn and garden of just selling garden gnomes, and then you can create a monopoly of having the best brand and the best products. And your site is known for the best content and variety of garden gnomes. And whenever someone wants to get information, like stuff outside of Amazon, of what type of garden gnome you should really put in your garden, or what's really the highest rated ones or the highest quality ones, they're going to be coming to your site, and you have something to, an easy to remember domain and brand, and you're kind of the garden gnome business online. Now, I'm not saying that you should go and immediately someone's going to jump on and start, registering garden gnome domains. This is just a quick example I'm giving. Now, some other examples out there. Now, here's one that's been doing really good. It's called a store called Blue Kicks, and what it is, well, it's a website that sells just blue shoes, or at least that's what it kind of started as. So it took a big thing of the it's a sub niche of a bigger industry, the shoe industry, and it decided just to do blue type shoes, and then even that now it's actually a specific type of shoe that was more comfortable, wasn't really athletic, and that's how they started. It's a very sub niche within a niche. Now, here's another one you probably heard of before. This is a really good example of one called Beard Brand. Now, when it started, this was just a site that catered toward guys' beards. There wasn't really anything else online. There's, now there's some other stores that have copied them, but this is kind of, they have a good brand now. They even have brand in their title, Beard Brand, and this is just a really niche store focused on, this little sub niche of guys that they like to grow beards, and they like to put stuff in their beards, like these balms, and trim them a certain way and stuff like that. So that's what is really working today, and what people seem to have the most success with. And the people who create these general type of stores, maybe they can make some cash over the weekend or extra pop here and there, but it's really difficult to establish a brand, a long-term vision when you're trying to sell everything under the sun instead of just focusing on one thing and kind of owning that spot, having like a monopoly of it as well. Now, what kind of niches should you choose? Well, the bad news is that there's already tons of information and tons of niches out there online as far as providing content and providing products. But the good news is that more and more people are going online, and like we said in the first video, e-commerce is just is rapidly expanding, and there's no signs of it slowing down. So there's more niches created, and there's more people looking for products or information or content that maybe some of the other brands, they're not doing that good of a job on. Maybe they're not offering in general. Now, I have these 3 rules for as far as what niche you should choose if you really don't know where to start out. Now, first is just something that you can provide amazing value and have knowledge on. And this doesn't have to be something in the shoe industry or something huge. It could be garden gnomes. But, it needs to, the internet is all about, or business in general is all about providing amazing value that someone else can't, whether it's in the form of content or products or education. And the way you kind of carve out your space online is, you have some sort of value or knowledge that other businesses don't have. And people, they type in Google or they look on Facebook and they find you, and you're solving something that they can't really find anywhere else. So if you have a head start, so to speak, on all the other businesses, and you know a lot more than basically anyone out there, and you can provide a better experience, well, you already have a huge head start, and it's probably something that you're interested in. Well, now that brings me to the number 2 point here, something that you're passionate about and you're going to be interested in for the long haul. Now, if you're going to be really creating a store that we put some effort into, but then it's going to make like lasting income and maybe even some passive income, you're going to have to put in some effort and be in it for the long haul. So this is going to be something, a topic or a niche that is actually interesting to you, that you want to get up and work on every day. Now, I've started businesses, and maybe some people listening have done this, where we picked a topic that we think was selling well, and then we got into creating the content or trying to create the product, and it just wasn't really interesting. It was kind of a chore to work on. And that's not something that you're going to be able to provide lasting value on over and over and create amazing products on, because it's going to require some work for this all to work out and work out long term. So I really suggest, even if you don't think you have any knowledge or special value on anything, chances are you probably do, whether it's parenting or knowledge on dieting or exercise or knowledge of CrossFit, something even within the CrossFit niche. Chances are there's something, but if there's, you're sitting down and there's like nothing that you can provide value on, then at least something that you're interested in learning about for the long term, that you can, you're going to go out there and provide great value and content and products. Or finally, you can always do something, and a lot of businesses have done this, where that there's something that people desperately need, or something that other businesses aren't really serving correctly. And no one really wants to go out there and do the hard work to create it, or maybe just no one's even thought of that idea. Now, you can do that as well and have great success too. But, somehow it's probably a combination of all these to start on where to find your niche. Now, how do you know what's going to be selling well, or where do you get some niche ideas, or how do you know what's going to be a good niche to be in the future? Well, what you want to probably do first is before you even pick out your niche, and before we even get into the type of products we're going to be selling, we're going to do that in a later video, is how to actually figure out what product's going to sell. Just take a look and see what's selling out there, and what are the stuff that the niche topics that are going to be trending, or people are starting to ask questions about and are kind of emerging. That's a good way to get started. Now, there's a lot of stuff you can check out. Now, the first is Amazon bestsellers. And also there's something called Amazon movers and shakers. So to do that, all you have to do is type in Amazon movers and shakers in Google. And these are all products that are kind of new, and they're starting to really trend on Amazon. They're starting to really heat up. And Amazon's categorized these into what they call their movers and shakers. Now you can go through here, and obviously you've probably been on Amazon, and you can check out all the different niche ideas here and see what all the type of different products and niche ideas that are starting to get hot. So here's something called e-bags, packing cubes, that's up really high. Here's something else here, some sort of HDMI projector, and you also want to check out some of the the books and ideas as well, because there might be content out there that's going to come before products. Like there's a book on the keto diet and stuff like that, and now there's a bunch of keto type products and cookbooks and stuff. But first, the content came, so you want to make sure to check out some of the ideas in books too. There's also something called Amazon bestsellers, and you probably know what that is. You just type in Amazon bestsellers, and you're going to see a list of some of the top niche ideas and products that are already selling the best out there. So obviously, we want to choose a niche that we're passionate about and can deliver value. I'm not one of these people who think that you should only pick something where there's already tons of sales, but that does help if you go into a topic where people are already searching, there's already buyers. That is going to save some work down the future. And here we can see the best sellers in each kind of category here, and that's something you should go out and take a look too. Now, there's another site called AliExpress. This is a site where you can actually get drop shipping stuff. We'll talk about that in a later video. But you can also check out some of the most, they'll show some of the products that are heating up and trending. They also have like a a best-selling section as well. You can check out and see some of the reviews stuff. Obviously, that has the most reviews, most accessories, is the stuff that people are buying the most. So that's another good way, is to go on a site called AliExpress. Now, another cool one is called Etsy marketing or market. You go to etsy.com/market/trending now, and you can see brand new products that people have created. Most of these products are all created from home or from do-it-yourselfers. So this is stuff that hasn't been like wholesaled or already commercially manufactured. This is a good idea to get ideas for fresh, unique niches that aren't too saturated out there, that are trending and starting to really pick up some sales as far as Etsy is concerned. So some more ideas. There's also, you can check out Pinterest. Is another good idea to find physical products that are selling well and some potential niche ideas for you to get into. So a good idea is to go to pinterest.com/category/popular, and then you can check out some of the most popular pins and products that are very popular right now. Here's something about organization. It has 200,000 pins. Some of the stuff obviously probably won't relate to products, but again, it's going to give you some good ideas as far as what to check out and get, and what kind of niches are trending out there, and potential niches that you can explore some well. Now you can also do just from checking out physical products online and where they're selling, you can also check out something called trend publications. Now I gave 4 here you can check out. There's one called Trend Watcher. Now this is more of a commercial service where you have to pay a premium fee, but you can also go to TW-free on trendwatching.com, and there's some publications of what they think are going to be big trends for the future. You can check that out. There's something called Trend Hunter. And this is a website that has reviews and showcases, has some ratings of products in all kinds of different categories here. So there's a lot of tech things, which is big, lifestyle type things, business, eco-friendly ideas, and publications that you can check out. And there's also there's one called Springwise, and then another cool one, of course, you probably know, is called Kickstarter. Now, if you haven't gone on and browsed Kickstarter and you want to do a physical goods business, you should probably go ahead and check this one out. So all you have to do is go to Kickstarter and go to Explore, and then you can see all the different types of categories where people are kickstarting their products, meaning they're crowdfunding them, and if it's a cool product, people will give them money for like a gift to fund it, and if it's not, people won't really care. So that's a good idea to see what kind of stuff people are buying and they're interested in as far as brand new ideas. So for example, we can go to games, maybe go to all games. This one here, this is a featured one, a game that they're trying to create. Here's another game they're trying to create, and you can see that this one's only 8% funded, but there's they give them like a timeline, like a month, so they have 29 days to try to fund their product. And then you can check out here's one that was way overfunded. It was really people were really interested in it, they really liked it. Here's another one that was hugely funded. So these are already giving you some more ideas of stuff that you can create, or niches that you can potentially go into to source products, or even create your own from scratch like those Kickstarter guys did. Now, another thing you can check out as far as niche ideas and what's going to be trending or what people are going to be talking about are following influencers in your industry. So how do you find who's an influencer? Because if they're an influencer, chances are they're going to be talking about hot products or ideas or content, because they supposedly they are influencers, so they should have specialized knowledge. Now, a good app you can go to, which is free, you go to moz.com/followerwonk/bio. First, you have to sign up for followerwonk, but this is I'm pointing this out because this is a free tool. And then you can type in a keyword here like paleo diet, and you can search profiles of people on Twitter. Now, chances are if they have a large following on Twitter, they're probably going to have a large following on Facebook and Instagram. And you can check out some of the content and ideas and products and stuff that they are tweeting about and sharing right now. So here's we can see, if you go over here, We can check out the number of followers they have, their social authority. That's a type of setting that that follower wonk applies to them. How big of an authority they actually have. So here's some guy who has 83. So that's someone you'd probably want to check out if you were into like the paleo diet, or you wanted to create some sort of like paleo diet bar or something within that niche, and see the kind of things that he's talking about right now. And then you can, do the same type of research on Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, as well. You don't just have to check out their following on Twitter, because they might have a big following on Instagram, for example. There's not really a free tool for the Instagram influencers, but if you just go on an Instagram, research some popular keywords that relate to your product, you can probably find the people who have big followings. They're posting a lot of content each day, and just check out what they're talking about, what the conversation is right now. Now, there's also something called customer product review blogs, and these are just blogs dedicated just to reviewing brand new products that have come out. And I'm going to link to all these in the resource section here that you can check out. Now, another thing you can do is check out Facebook graph search. Now, you probably know what this is as well. You can just type in paleo diet up here on Facebook as soon as you log in. And you can check out things like what type of people are posting about that content, the newest photos. Something you should check out, groups, if there's a lot of groups relating to this. If there is, then there's probably a popular topic that a lot of people are out there that you can tap into to sell something within that niche. You can go into the group specifically and see the conversations or products they're talking about. For example, if someone's having a bad experience with something and they're asking, that's an opportunity for you to dive into. Here's products that they're talking about right now. So they're asking, I just found this on my shelf. Is it healthy? That's a thing that you can, someone says I used it, it was a waste of, I couldn't taste it. So that's a potential lucrative product right there. I didn't even try to find this. I was just, I just typed in a quick keyword. But here you go. This is kind of proving my point here, that maybe you can create a lot better tasting vanilla flavoring, but it relates to like this paleo diet group or community of people. So graph search, just browse Facebook group for topics. It doesn't have to be a Facebook group. If you know like a forum in your niche that you're thinking about, just check that out as well. And then finally, you can use some free research tools out there that will do just as good a job as some paid ones. One of the, you can always just use regular keyword tools. Now, here's one of the top keyword tools here. This is a paid tool, but you can search what they call Google auto suggestion, where you type in a name, or here, I'll do an example real quick, where you can type in a keyword and then Google will try to figure out what you're saying. This will search Google auto suggestion for some long tail niche ideas, which is really great. You can also use a free tool called Uber Suggest. Now, it was just bought by another company, and they're going to be adding some new features and keeping it free, for what I know. So you can type in, you want to find something in the piano tuning niche or piano niche. It's going to go out there and just search for long tail phrases that people are typing in. Still loading here. But, basically what it will do is there we go. And then we can see, piano tuning software. That's something we can go into. We can click on this arrow here. See some trends for it. Expand this keyword. Now, if you want some more data, apparently they want you to, upgrade and buy some of the same stuff. But, basically this is another idea to find long tail keyword phrases. And of course, there's always Google AdWords. Now, you probably know what that is, but it's still a great tool to see, the demand of a certain niche, what kind of phrases people are looking for and asking. Another thing to, to see, if there's people out there searching for it or asking questions as well. Now, just because you don't see your product idea or your niche out there, with a lot of groups or created, doesn't mean that you should abandon that idea. Now, probably the guy who did Beard Brand, I'm guessing that whenever he, started out, there wasn't a lot of Google searches for how to, put oil in your beard, things like that. But he knew that there's people out there that are interested in it. There's not a lot of good solutions, not a lot of good brands. So he went out there and just built a niche store and kind of dominated that space, and is probably making a decent living at this point. Maybe not billions of dollars, but enough that he's been doing this now for several years, and he has a nice looking site. So that's kind of the direction that I would recommend you starting to take. Instead of just creating some sort of general store that doesn't last too long and it's difficult to distinguish and brand, try to think up, try to find a sub niche within a niche, and then really decide to own that as far as creating a really great product or the best products, or sourcing the top products, creating the best content, having a great domain that people remember, and they'll go back and look for information and things like that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go do an action exercise. And all you have to do for this is just go ahead and write down 5 niches that you'll be interested in and learning about, and potentially turning into a business long term. So this is stuff that's more than just like a kind of weekend fun thing. Now, this is stuff where you can keep adding value and products over and over, kind of like the beard brand guy did. Then go ahead and check out some products and niches that are selling well, and some products already in that niche that maybe you want to try to wholesale, or maybe you want to drop ship, or maybe you want to create something similar, not exactly the same thing, but maybe something better, like that vanilla paleo diet flavoring thing that you can do a better job of, that people are out there kind of asking, but there's not really a solution. Or maybe there's something already out there that's selling really well that that maybe you can do a better job on, or you can create something just similar and get some sales as well. So go ahead, write down the 5 niches that you're interested in, and then take a look at some of those sites we went over in this training, just to check out kind of the landscape and what's going on.